And it's PLB with MLB News back with another video, and in today's video is going to be the 2020 MLB Power Rankings mid-season. We're just about 25 games through the season right now, and I never thought I would say that sentence because I thought we weren't going to get a season, and I definitely didn't think we were going to get one after COVID outbreaks, but we are over 25 games through this season if the team has played every game. So I think we finally played enough games to where we can rank some teams. So, make sure you drop a like on this video as well as subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you will get notified whenever I upload a video. Link to my other channels in the description below. Make sure to check those out. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. So, starting off at number 30 is going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they didn't have hope. They really didn't have many people thinking that they were going to be anywhere but 5th place this year. And that's definitely stayed true so far this season. Colin Moran has got off to a good start this season. He's got 6 home runs and 10 RBIs so far this season, so he's been good. Trevor Williams has got off to a decent start. Derek Holland has not got off to a good start at all. And he was a pitcher that I thought could be decent for them. Chad Kuhl has got off to a good start. Richard Rodriguez in the bullpen has started off the season well. Josh Bell has had a terrible start to the season. He's got a 200 batting average. That's bad. Next is the Boston Red Sox. And I know that the Boston Red Sox hitting is good with Alexander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, Andrew Benintendi, so on and so forth. But right now it's looking like the trade of Mookie Betts is really hurting because Alex Verdugo's the right fielder right now. He sucks right now. But for the Red Sox, they have no pitching. They have no starting pitching at all. And that's a big problem for them. Chris Sale's injured this year. Eduardo Rodriguez, their top 2 pitchers, are not playing this season. And Nathan Eovaldi's been okay to start the season. Martin Perez as well. But they're just really not that good of a team right now. Number 28 is the Seattle Mariners. Now, the Seattle Mariners do have some bright spots so far this season with Kyle Lewis breaking out and Kyle Seager having a good start to the season. But them as a team just have not been great. They have had some bright spots, but that doesn't mean them as a team has been great. Number 27 is the San Francisco Giants. And the Giants have been a lot better than everyone expected this year so far. But recently they have fallen off a cliff. The Giants' future is looking very bright with players breaking out this year, including Jonathan Solano and Mike Yastrzemski. Johnny Cueto has been decent on the pitching side, but the Giants overall as a team are just not built to win this year. Multiple old players on their team are just not good enough at this point in their career. And they're just not a team built for this season. Next at number 26 is the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are a team that ever since 2015, the World Series year that they won the World Series, has been bad. Players on that team have went other places, and they do have a lot of young talent that I think is going to make them a good team for the future. Their starting pitching right now is not good enough. Their bullpen is okay. Ian Kennedy has been a bright spot out of the bullpen for the last year or so. If they do not get their team together, then I think Whit Merrifield, their best player on their team, will request a trade. And I cannot blame him. He's on a bad team, and he wants to compete, and I can't blame him. Jorge Soler finally broke out last year and hit 40 home runs. Hunter Dozier is also a good player for them. And Mondesi is a great leadoff hitter, I think. Number 25 is a division rival, the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers did get off to a hot start this season, but have fallen off a cliff recently, just like the Giants, and are now back below 500. The only reasons they started off so hot was Jacoby Jones playing a lot better than expected, and other players for them were playing good, like C.J. Cron and Jonathan Scope. They have called up Casey Mize and Tariq Skubal. Their 2 top pitching prospects. And Matt Manning also should be called up soon. And the Tigers do have a bright future. At the trade deadline, I think they could get rid of some players that are just not needed for the rebuild, being Matt Boyd, Jordan Zimmerman, who has a ridiculous contract, so he probably won't be moved, C.J. Cron, and Jonathan Scope, all at the trade deadline. And they will be looking for prospects back for those players. Probably not players that are ready to make an impact right now. And that makes sense. Next, coming in at number 24 is going to be the LA Angels. The Angels, year after year, I have hope for this team. But with no pitching, it is hard to be a fan of this team year after year. They do nothing about pitching, even though they know pitching is the reason they're not in the playoffs. And their hitting is great with Trout, Rendon. Rendon got off to a slow start this season, but I think he'll be back to MVP type form. Ohtani and Fletcher is one of the best leadoff hitters in the league. But the Angels just do not have the pitching. Next, in number 23, is the Miami Marlins, who are playing like a better team than the Angels right now. Interesting. So the Marlins start off their season, but are starting to fall off. And they've had a tough schedule the last couple series. They've had to play the Mets and the Braves, two teams that are better than them, and any team in the division is better than them. And they have a tough division, and it's going to be hard for them to win many division games. Next, at number 22, is the Washington Nationals, and this is a team that I thought was going to be very good this season, and I still think they are going to be. Right now, they're in 5th place in the NL East, which is not great. But I think they're going to be good. Scherzer, Corbin, and Strasburg really haven't really been great to start the season, and Soto's been good. He's finally starting to hit the ball really well. But losing Anthony Rendon is looking like a big loss. Trey Turner's been good to start the season. They've got a lot of players that have been good. It's just the Nationals right now, Number 21 is the Cincinnati Reds, and this is a team that I predicted to win the NL Central. And right now it's just not looking too good because their starting pitching hasn't been good. I know Trevor Bauer's been good to start the season, but besides that, and they're probably going to be off for 2 weeks like the Cardinals because one player tested positive for COVID. And they'll be probably off for 2 weeks, so that's going to screw them up in the playoffs for the playoff seeding and stuff. And the Reds have just not been a good team. I know Jesse Winker has been great to start the season, Nick Castellanos as well. So they have had some bright spots, but their pitching needs to step up. Number 20 is the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Toronto Blue Jays, I think, have a rough ahead of them. A rough road ahead of them. And I say that because Bo Bichette's on the IL. Vladimir Guerrero hasn't started off the season well. Neither has Randall Grichuk, who has been one of their best hitters last few seasons. Their pitching's not been great either, with Hyun-Jin Ryu not starting off the season very well at all. Matt Shoemaker, same thing. Tanner Roark, same thing. So pretty much all their starting pitching hasn't been good at all. Ken Childs, their closer, has not played any this season. Wilmer Font's been terrible. Next is, at number 19, is the Texas Rangers. And the Rangers are a team that, shaking my head because they can be frustrating. And Kyle Gibson's not been that great to start off the season. Jordan Lyles, same thing. Lance Lynn's been great to start off the season. In his last start, he pitched a complete game versus Colorado. Todd Frazier has been pretty decent to start the season. So they have had some bright spots. Nick Solak's been great to start the season. And they've had a lot of bright spots. But also their starting pitching has really not been that great. Jonathan Hernandez has been great in the bullpen. Rafael Montero's been great in the bullpen. So their bullpen's been good. But, Next at number 18 is the New York Mets. And the New York Mets are currently in 4th place in the NL East. And their relief pitching is a struggle once again this year. Edwin Diaz blows saves. They just don't have that much. Jared Hughes has really been their best reliever so far this season, which is sad to say for them. Dominic Smith has been a good hitter to start the season. Pete Alonso's kind of fallen off, just kind of like Aaron Judge in 2018, just he's not had injuries. And they're just not a good team right now. And Andres Jimenez has been a good player so far this season, but he's probably the NL Rookie of the Year right now, just because he doesn't have much competition. Number 17 is the St. Louis Cardinals. And I know they didn't play for 2 weeks, so it's kind of hard to rank this team. But right now they're kind of number 17 for me. They have some bright spots coming up. Dylan Carlson made his major league debut a few days ago, and their starting pitching definitely needs to step up a little bit. I know Jack Flaherty's been decent, but they need some pitching at the trade deadline. And if I was thinking of one thing they would need at the trade deadline, that'd be it, pitching. And Marcell Ozuna's been a big loss considering how good he's been for the Braves so far, and they're just a team that is borderline playoffs almost. Number 16 is the Orioles. And I know you're probably thinking, why are the Orioles ahead of the Angels, the Nationals, the Reds, the Blue Jays, and the Rangers, and the Mets, and the Cardinals? Here's the thing. From what we have seen from the Orioles so far this season, they're playing like a mediocre team. And I don't think they'll keep it up, and I don't think anybody is. Anthony Santana's been great to start the season. Rio Urias, Pedro Severino, Chris Davis has been bad. John Means has really started off the season slow, and they're still doing very well. You've got Tommy Milone has started off the season very well. Azier Wachowski has started off the season pretty well, too. So the Orioles have a lot of bright spots. I don't think they'll keep it up. So in my next Power Rankings video, that might be a lot lower. But as of what we've seen right now, you've got to go with them at number 16. Number 15 is the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, the Phillies are a team that has good hitting but bad pitching. But so far, their pitching has been decent with Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, and Jake Arrieta. Zach Wheeler's been really good. You've got McCutcheon's not been too great to start the season. Jay Bruce neither. JT Realmuto's been their best hitter so far this season. So the Phillies are a pretty decent team right now. Number 14 is the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, they've had some struggles. Christian Yelich started off the season ice cold. Keston Hiura wasn't as good as he was last year. So they have had some down spots. And their pitching, their starting pitching, I think they could make some moves at the trade deadline to improve that. And I think they can make the playoffs, possibly. Number 13 is the San Diego Padres. And the Padres started off the season very well, slowed down a little bit. Fernando Tatis has been playing like the NL MVP, and he's been great so far this season. Will Myers has been okay. Manny Machado's been okay. Their starting pitching is the problem. Their relief pitching's been good, and it was expected to be. Number 12 is the Arizona Diamondbacks, and at the time this video is being filmed, they are on a 6-game winning streak. So they are definitely doing a lot better. And I think they'll keep up that pace. And they're doing better with Madison Bumgarner on the IL. That's kind of confusing to me. Not really, though. Because I think he's going to be traded at the trade deadline. And you can watch what each team can do at the trade deadline to improve their team. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Number 11 is the Houston Astros. And they're a good baseball team right now, as far as hitting. Now, their starting pitching sucks right now. Verlander is injured. Greinke's been good. McCullers has been good, but besides that, Alex Bregman is pretty good this season. Obviously, in past seasons, he's proven that he's one of the top third basemen in the game. He's decent this season. Jose Altuve got off to the season slow. Jordan Alvarez is going to be out for the season. Yuli Gurriel has been decent. Number 10 is the Chicago White Sox. And the White Sox are a team that has the hitting. but they don't have the pitching. And the hitting is Luis Robert. You've got Nomar Mazara. You've got Eloy Jimenez. You've got Yohan Moncada. You've got Tim Anderson. You've got Jose Abreu. Nick Madrigal's been on the IL for most of the season. Yasmani Grandal. Their starting pitching is a problem with Keuchel's been good. Giolito's been good. Lopez has been good. But besides that, Number 9 is the Colorado Rockies. And the Rockies are a team that I think will surprise everyone this season. I put them in 4th place in my original predictions. And we will have some mid-season predictions coming. And the Rockies, their starting pitching's been great. And I think if they keep that up, they can win the NL West. Number 8 is the Cleveland Indians. And the Indians have been a team that is kind of a team that is interesting to where you're going to put on these predictions, because Clevenger, Plesac, they're out for the foreseeable future. And probably good. You don't want an outbreak on that team. Bieber's been great to start the season. But without Clevenger and Plesac for a while, this team kind of falls lower on my rankings than they are right now. But if Clevenger and Plesac are back, then the number 8 spot's the right spot for them. Number 7 is the Chicago Cubs, who have got off to a really hot start this season. Yu Darvish has been pitching very well. Chatwood is now on the IL. Kimbrel and their whole bullpen's just kind of forgotten how to pitch right now, and that's going to be a big problem for them. And I could probably put them lower than the Indians or the Rockies, because both of those teams' bullpens are better. But from what we've seen from the Cubs, I have to put them at number 7. Number 6 is the Oakland Athletics. And the Athletics are a good team. I'm going to give them that. Mike Fiers has been good. Frankie Montas. Jesus Luzardo's been great to start the season. And I think he can keep it up. And I think he'll definitely be good for a playoff run. A.J. Puck has still yet to pitch. Number 5 is the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Rays are a team that I think can improve in my rankings as the season goes on. They started off the season a little bit slow, but they have finally started playing well like I expected them to play, and I still think they could win the AL East. Number 4 is the Atlanta Braves. I know they're 14-11 right now, but I think Alex Anthopoulos, or whatever his name is, can make the moves at the trade deadline to get this team better. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I do not want another left-handed pitcher. Max Fried, our best pitcher right now, is a left-handed pitcher. Cole Hamels as well. If I'm looking in a 5-7 game series, however many, I don't want 3 left-handed pitchers for those. And Kyle Wright's got to be sent down. He sucks. Oh man. Don't even get me started on him. Number 3 is the LA Dodgers. And they started off the season a little bit slow. I mean, still good, but a little slow for what we were expecting. Bellinger's got off to a slow start, but he's finally starting to get his groove. And I think they could use 1 or 2 more relief pitchers at the trade deadline. And that's their only problem with this team, is relief pitching. Joe Kelly's been out for most of the season after he did his crap with the Astros. Number 2 is the Minnesota Twins. And the Twins are a team that their hitting's unstoppable. So no, you've got Arias, you've got Polanco, you've got Donaldson, who is on the IL right now, and they're still doing great. You've got Rosario, you've got Buxton, you've got Kepler, you've got Garver. And I don't think there's a place but number 2 for them right now. And their pitching's been good. Jose Barrios has been good. Jake Odorizzi's good. I mean, my only complaint with this team is their pitching, relief pitching, starting pitching, which has not been great. Their relief pitching, I think, could use a lot of upgrades and improvements. But as of right now, they're a really good team, and I think they have to come in at number 2. And number 1 is the New York Yankees. And the reason for the New York Yankees being number 1 is because they're hitting. Yikes. I don't know. many teams that can stop this hitting. I think there are a couple teams, the Dodgers, the Rays, and maybe Cleveland, but and the Astros possibly, but their hitting is great right now. But they do have some injury problems right now in their starting pitching. I've said it from the beginning; it's a problem. But as of right now, and the way we've seen them play so far this season, they have to go at number one. So those are my 2020 MLB power rankings. So from what we've seen so far this season. So if you like this kind of content, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a video. Link to my other channels in the description below, and that's going to be the end of this video. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I've got another great video next after this one. And thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.